Hey, welcome back to my channel. Okay, you guys, today's video is going to be like a pregnancy postpartum story time kind of update situation. Just me explaining. Hold on, let me turn my TV down. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, so this is like just me kind of giving you guys the story on my birth, when my daughter was born, and everything that occurred throughout the birth, because I was not able to record because they didn't allow us to at all at the hospital. So that wasn't even an option. It just wasn't an option. Like they would allow us to take pictures, but recording was not a thing. Not where I live. They do not allow recording. So but the way everything happened anyway, it was kind of like a sudden type situation. So yeah, so and I'm going to be introducing my baby girl to you guys in this video as well. She's currently asleep right now over in the bassinet. So I kind of want to get this done as quick as possible. My husband was supposed to join me in this video, but he is currently at work, so I just decided to go ahead and get the video done, just because I kind of prolonged it and kind of just relaxed, and you know, I needed some time because yeah. But I do want to get into everything that has occurred, and I want to also give some advice to women that are pregnant, trying to get pregnant, and you know, and just what to look out for and what to be careful for when you do have your baby. So first off, we're going to get into the story about the day I gave birth. It was, well, see, first of all, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, November the 25th, which was Thanksgiving Day, I thought she was gonna come that day. So I cooked the day before that, just in case she came on Thanksgiving, I would already have all my food cooked. I wouldn't have to worry about nothing. I could just, you know, focus on delivery. She didn't come the 25th, so I was like, okay, good, all right. Day went smooth. I ate, enjoyed the day. The 26th come, which was a Friday, and he goes to work. Everything is normal. Ate some Thanksgiving food, leftovers, relaxed on the couch, sat on my yoga ball and just kind of rolled around for a little bit, you know, just kind of chilling, you know. My daddy knocks at the door. I opened the door. It was around like 12, like 30. He knocks at the door. I opened the door. I was having contractions when I opened the door, so I was like, you know, I told him when he came in, I said, I'm currently having contractions, so yeah. And I had my 2-year-old daughter here, and I did have my mom here as well, you know. And so he said he was going to stay until my husband got home, because what happened was I was having contractions, so I just kind of waited for like a little bit because I wasn't sure if they were going to get stronger. But as soon as I dialed the number to his job to contact him, the contractions got worse. I called, they got him on the phone. I didn't know that his boss was going to let them off, because it was like the next day, the day after the holiday, so they was going to let them off early. And at that same very moment they were going to let them off early, I was calling him to tell him to get off so he can, you know, take me to the hospital. He gets on the phone. I say, you know, I'm having contractions and they are getting stronger, and I'm timing them. I actually did time them in my phone, and I still do, I think, have me timing them in my phone. I'm not for sure if I can find them or not, but I think they had gotten like 5 minutes apart. First they started out 5 minutes apart. I decided to track them for I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it, y'all, but I do have, because I saved it, but I just don't know where I saved it at to show you. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it to show you guys whatever me tracking the contractions, but I will say that they started out 5 minutes apart, and I was like, okay, these are 5 minutes apart. It was hurting like crazy. I couldn't talk to him. I was like quiet, waiting on him to get here, having these contractions, rolling on the ball, just trying to keep myself calm, because I didn't want my 2-year-old to panic, because she doesn't understand what's going on. She's 2, so I just kind of wanted to stay calm, and it was hard to stay calm too, because them contractions, they were coming in and they were hitting. Okay, so my husband finally walked through the door. It was like going on, he got there pretty quick. It was actually going on like 1, I think, when he actually got there, because I called him like 12:35 or something like that. So he actually got there, well, it might have been 12:45. I'm just not quite sure of the time. I think it was like 12:35 or 12:45. It was between that. But he got in. It was like by the time we left, because we had to, you know, gather everything that we needed, which was already gathered. It was at the door. But by the time we had done all that, we got to the hospital. It was like around like 1:20, because the hospital drive from here is about 20 minutes from where I live. So as we're driving to the hospital, I'm having these bad contractions, y'all. I'm like going through it with these contractions, like, and I can actually now more so scream about it and like just have my moment, because I didn't have my daughter watching and stuff like that. So I was like really going in. So we get to the emergency room. He just parks like at a random spot, you know. We go upstairs. No, he parks in like a random spot. He walks me in. They take me upstairs to the baby unit. Mind you, I couldn't even talk at this point, because the contractions had gotten so bad. I was still tracking them, believe it or not, from the wheelchair all the way up to the baby unit. I was tracking the contractions. They started to become like 3 minutes apart. I was like, okay, I told him, I said, my contractions are 3 minutes apart now. I said, I don't know what's going on. It was just crazy, because like the time they started and the time they stopped, it was like literally 3 minutes and like 50 some seconds in between the contractions. So I was like, they were like, okay, so yeah, we definitely need to check you. And mind you, I'm having contractions. So I lay down on the bed. They start checking me. Then my husband finally comes up to the baby unit where I'm at, and I was like in the triage area. So they checked me, and when they checked me, I was 7 centimeters dilated. My water broke right in that moment, literally. My water broke at 7 centimeters dilated. My water broke. I felt it. I felt a pop. It said pop, and then all this like liquid started gushing out everywhere. So next thing I know, the nurse running there, and then she called somebody, and it's like it was like a quick process. Like they started gathering all these people. We need you know, we need to get her to, you know. So all I remember as far as like, you know, all of that is I was still having these bad contractions, and so they couldn't move me to a room that was further away, because I was so close. Because once I hit 7, I hit 10 centimeters within 20 probably like 20 minutes from going from 7 to 10. I went to 10 blink of an eye. It took nothing for me to get to 10. I kept asking for epidural, because I was going to do natural, but when I started feeling that pain, I was like, I wanted an epidural. Y'all, we get to that room. I'm thinking the whole time I'm gonna be able to get an epidural. No. They were like, we need to check you again. And mind you, I'm going through all this pain. They checked me again. It was like, you're at 10 centimeters. They said you're basically, the baby is there, like coming. So we can't do epidural. You can't do it. So they was like, when you need to push or you feel like you have to poop, let us know. Right after that man said that, I swear to you, I felt like I had to poop. I felt like I had to poop. All these people ran into the room, nurses, you know, doctors and stuff like that. I was standing up at the time because I could not sit down for nothing, because it felt like her head was like literally right between my legs. So I felt like if I sat down, I would have maybe broke something. I just didn't feel comfortable sitting down. So they was like, being that you're doing a natural delivery, we have a couple of options. The options that they had was for me to deliver with my feet, well, not my feet, but my knees at the edge of the, like their bed went up and down like this. The bottom went down and the top was like, you can like change the height of the bed. So the bottom of the bed was like here, because they had like extended, and then the top, it was like a little thing, and it was a top here, and they had a bar. So I stood up in doggy style position. This might be too much information for somebody, but I don't know. But I stood up and I held the bars. I'm gonna try to do it in this video, which is not gonna be possible. I stood up like this, and I had her on my knees holding on to a bar, bent over on the bed, my head bent on the bed like that, and I was told to push. I didn't have her laying on my back. It was a very traumatic birth. I was admitted at 2 and had her at 3:04. That was a quick delivery. When I say things went quick, they went quick. Okay. So I'm pushing her out. They kept forcing me. It's like, I didn't know at the time why they were forcing me to push so hard. They kept saying, we need you to push, Melissa. You have to get her out. We have to get her out. And I was like, I'm pushing. I can't push no more, y'all. I was going through it. I was like, I cannot push no more. I am exhausted. I am tired. I cannot. It was like, we need one more good push. When this next contraction come, we need you to push. And we need you to push with everything that's in you. Y'all, I don't even know where I got the muscle, the energy, or whatever. That last push, I pushed to where I felt like I almost passed out. I was dizzy, everything. When I pushed her out. She came out. She was not crying at first. So I was like kind of concerned, because I was like, okay, I know she's out, but I don't hear anything. I did rip in 2 places too. So, and I didn't hear her crying. So they did something, because I was not facing to where I could see her, and they were like, your baby's here, and I was like, she's not crying. So, you know, but my husband said, why is she so purple? When he said that, I was like, I'm thinking like, purple, why would she shouldn't be purple, because there would be no reason for her to really be purple. But when he said that, he was like, is she okay? Because she's purple. Come to find out, she had the umbilical cord around her neck. Yes. I still get emotional talking about it, because, you know, the devil really tried to take my child. She had the umbilical cord around her neck. So she was born with the umbilical cord around her neck. And that's why she was purple. They was able to get the umbilical cord from around her neck. And after they did that, I guess she started screaming and crying and stuff. So I was like, there she goes. So after she started crying, they handed her to me and laid her on my chest. And that's when me and her kind of bonded or whatever. And we had our, you know, mommy-daughter moment and stuff like that. And I was just excited to see her and excited to see her hands were still purple and her feet were still purple. So I did, my husband did ask about that. They did say that that would go away within the next few days. So I was, after they told me that, I was good. I was like, okay, good. Like I said, my birth story was very, very dramatic. Not dramatic, very, very traumatic. I meant very, very, it was something. Like I said, I know I'm probably missing something out of that story, but I do know that that birth was very, very traumatic. It was something. So we stay in the hospital till Saturday. We leave Saturday around 6. We bring her home, introduce her to her sister, and that moment was very, very wonderful, because I liked seeing their interaction and stuff like that. My 2-year-old was so happy to see her sister. She was like, oh, you know, sister, you know, and stuff like that. So they just kind of had their moment, and we sat there with them, and my husband held the baby and let her to kind of look at her and check her out and everything. So that was exciting when we got home that night, that Saturday night. So we just been taking care of, my husband stayed home for a week to help me, and he helped. I didn't do nothing. He even fed me everything. Like, I didn't do anything. He did pretty much everything. I got so a lot of rest. I did have my times to where, you know, I did stuff too, but for the most part, he really stepped in and helped and like let me, because it was a traumatic birth. So I was very, very exhausted, you know. Even after the fact, I had to go back to the emergency room, not right after, but like a few days after, because I started to bleed a little bit more heavier. So they had to check me for a hemorrhage. I did not have a hemorrhage, thank God. They had to check me for the placenta being left inside, because they thought they left, well, we thought me and my husband felt like, you know, from what we read, that they had left some placenta inside, because I was having some really heavy bleeding. So they did check me for that, and that was not the case. But they did find blood clots in the cervix, which is not what was not a good thing. So they had to remove, I had to go through a procedure a few days ago to get the blood clots removed out of the cervix. The blood clots were removed, and my belly has gone down further from, just because they had to remove the blood clots. That's what was keeping everything so going and crazy and stuff, was the fact that I had those blood clots in my cervix. This currently is my belly. It still has a long way to go to get back down to where it should be, but it's like I just had her, what, 12 days ago, so I think it's been about 12 days, but it's going down. I'm just gonna, when I'm cleared, I'm gonna start putting, like, you know, I'm gonna put, what is that cream? I'm gonna put not cream, I'm gonna put a cream on my stretch marks and a compression garment on to push everything back in, because I really had a flat belly before pregnancy. So I'm hoping to get back to my flat belly, and then I'm just going to work on the booty, but that's a whole nother video. But anyway, back to the situation that I want to discuss next, before I show Mara Dior. Another thing that has occurred recently where we didn't know, me and my husband didn't know. So let me get some of my drink, y'all. So me and my husband did not know that during birth, certain things can occur. You can, with an infant, like they can get bones broken coming through the birth canal. So me and my husband, one day he was changing our daughter. It was probably around December the 2nd or day before that. I don't really recall the date, to be honest with you. I just know that I had came home and he was changing her, and he called me over to look at her neck area. So on one side it was flat, the right side was swollen. So he had me look at her neck, and she had like a bulge. I told him, at that moment I did tell him, I said, well, let's kind of just, she's not crying about it, she doesn't seem hurt, so let's just kind of hold off and just see, you know, maybe it's just normal. I wasn't even thinking like something's wrong. So here recently, what was Sunday, we decided to take her to the emergency room to get it checked to see what was going on, because we weren't quite sure if something was wrong, but we knew something wasn't right because it was like a bulge here. Our first child didn't have that, so we knew that something wasn't right because it was flat here and it was bulged here. We get her to the ER. They check her. They find out that her clavicle is fractured. Her clavicle is fractured, and so they didn't really do anything, you know, but took a bunch of x-rays to, I guess, make sure anything else wasn't broken. Nothing else was broken. It was just the bone near the neck. So then we sitting there, you know, then she was like, we have to bring in somebody in to do a forensic. And I was like, okay, what is all of this about, the forensic and all this stuff? So they bring in somebody to talk to us, we talking to the lady, and she's, you know, when did, you know, how did this happen, all this stuff like that. We sitting there like, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we brought her to the hospital, so we can kind of figure out what's going on here, because we don't even know what that is. It's just a bulge. That's all we know. We don't know what's going on, you know. So come to find out, the doctor went and she called DSS. So they come and they interview me and my husband as if we are criminals, and trying to figure out how her clavicle got broken. We were trying to figure that out too, because we didn't know. You know, we know that we haven't dropped her. We know that we haven't harmed her. We know that she, you know, was born, you know, in a traumatic birth. So that's all we knew. So we knew something had to had occurred at birth. So I go back into my pictures that my husband took after she was born. So we take, he does that, and then I don't know, I may put a clearer picture up so you guys can see. But when she was born, let me see. You see this? This is the bulge. That's the bulge. That is swollen, and it's actually purple there. During her birth, they broke my daughter's, or they fractured my daughter's clavicle bone. They did not know, they did not write it down. They did not notate it. They did not tell us that they did that. They did not, nothing. They just, we didn't know it happened, and they didn't write it down that it did happen, which I feel like they knew it happened. But that's why I'm telling you, women, check your babies. If you're trying to get pregnant, if you're pregnant, if you're about to give birth, check your babies, because you have a responsibility to your children. My birth was so traumatic to the point where I was kind of out of it because of how it went, how it happened, how everything just was like, it was so, I didn't even have my baby laying down. I had my baby kind of hunched over the bed. My birth story was, and birth situation was very, very traumatic. So they ended up breaking her clavicle and trying to get her out because she had the cord around her neck. So now they're trying to, I guess, make it seem like something we did, which we would never hurt our kids. Me and my husband, we have a whole 2-year-old that we adore. That's a miracle to us. And when I found out I was pregnant, I've been doing these updates with you guys. You guys know I've been nothing but excited, ecstatic, and happy. So there is like no way in the world that I would put any harm to my kids. And I do thank God for these pictures proving that her clavicle was broken during birth. And me and my husband, we are always, you know, grateful for the people around us. We've had a lot of people like, yeah, I know y'all definitely ain't, yeah, that definitely is false. That don't even make sense. And I really appreciate that, because me and my husband are not those people. Now you got stuff going on with kids that, you know, that's actually happening to them. But for my kids, no. Me and my husband, we adore our babies. We are excited that we have 2 girls. We always talked about having girls, you know, and to have 2 girls is a blessing, and very grateful for that. So like I said, I showed you guys the fact that they had already broken her clavicle when she was born. So this is not something that we have any parts of. This is all hospital related, hospital done. They just didn't put it down in their documents, because what doctor is going to be honest and say, oh, I might have pulled her out a little too hard, so, and broke her clavicle. So, and what, come on, that puts you at risk of getting sued. So you're not going to put yourself at risk of getting sued. So that's why it was not notated. But God, and but these pictures that I have on my phone. So the blessings of the Lord is definitely with me and my husband, because you think is you might dig a ditch for your brother, but you're always going to fall in it yourself. And in this situation, that's exactly what's going on. like I said, you can't deny in these pictures that it's very much swollen like it is currently on her. We have been, so what me and my husband have been doing, we have been trying to like keep her arm down, keep her like wrapped in a swaddle, because we read that they gave us no instructions on what to do, by the way. So we kind of just looked up some stuff and read ourselves on how to heal the clavicle. So that's what we have been trying to do. We give her a break with the swaddles every now and then, just to kind of keep her, you know, she can have some freedom for her arms. But for the most part, we try to keep that arm down so this can heal, because like I said, the birth was very traumatic. It was very, very, very traumatic. So we want that to heal up or whatever, and that's what we're praying for a quick and speedy recovery. And I hate the fact that this has even happened to my child, and that me and my husband are being accused, you know, and stuff. It's just crazy. So, or being even thought about to have done anything, you know, instead of this being a situation to where the hospital should have owned up to their fault, to something that they did, and took responsibility, which is not likely most of the time. But also, I had read about newborns and clavicles, and so I was going to read. It said the clavicle, also known as the collarbone fractures, are the most common injury sustained by newborns during birth. A clavicle fracture is a break in the collarbone and occurs as a result of a difficult delivery or trauma at birth. Factors that may increase a risk for a clavicle fracture include the newborn being large in size. She was 6 pounds 6 ounces, and that's the biggest baby I've ever had. My first child was 5 pounds 12 ounces. So she was not that big at all. So this was a bigger baby for me. And, you know, I'm not big. Like, you know, I'm really small. So, factors that may increase a risk of clavicle fracture include the newborn being large in size, the newborn shoulder getting stuck during delivery, a narrow birth canal, or the use of tools to assist with the delivery. So that's where a clavicle can get broke. So that's how her clavicle broke. It is quite hard to try to, you know, have a newborn keep their arm down, because, you know, they like to stretch, they like to move and everything like that. And that's exactly what Mara Dior does. She moves. Like I said, I mean, yeah, see, we didn't even know. So yeah, you can't really lift the baby under their arms. Be careful and watch these doctors, because they're not going to be honest. If they harm you or harm your child, they're going to try to keep their stuff out of it, because they don't want to get in no trouble. They don't want to lose their job. They don't want to get sued. But we are currently looking into some things. So like I said, it's just quite sad to not be honest, you know, and then to try to blame the parents that went through this traumatic birth situation, and then a mother that just dealing with postpartum, and then you want, you know, try to blame the parents when clearly the doctors are at fault. And it's just quite sad. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. So let me go get the little mamas. I'm gonna go. All right, you guys, here is my little face. Her name is Mara Dior Prunty. Myra, she sleep right now, y'all. So yeah, she sleep. But this is her. Look at her. Look at the baby. And I don't really mess with that area. It's kind of course, swole, but this is her. Yeah, she's a beauty. And I might insert a picture of her with her eyes open, because right now she ain't having it. So, but yeah, this is my little mama's, me and her traumatic birth story. Yeah, I took her out of the swaddle for a little while just because it's a little hot. So yeah, but she's sleeping. You trying to open your eyes? You gonna open your eyes for them? Yeah. I have to hold on to her tight because she likes to swing her head. Yeah, talk to her. Say, how y'all doing? Say, I got cameras on me. Say, I got cameras on me. She like to poke her lips out too. Yeah. Tell the people hi. Say, my name is Myra Dior Prunty. Yeah, you smiling? Yeah. This little mama can sleep and eat, boy. That's what she do. She want to eat every 2 seconds, by the way. I'm exaggerating about the every 2 seconds, but she loves to eat, like, a lot. She was on 2 ounces. Now she's currently on 3. At her age, she can go from 2 to 3 ounces of milk. And she definitely does 3. Okay. Look at her smiling. You see her smiling? But that's my mama, Sita. She has a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Look at her. Look at your mama, see. Got that lip poked out. But yeah, this is my baby. I'm about to go lay her back down because, yeah, so I can end this video. But I'm just happy that you guys got to see Miss Diora. I wanted to thank you guys for watching this video today. You guys are awesome. And I did have her at 38 weeks and 3 days. So yeah, but her due date was December 7th, but she came November 26th, 2021 at 3:04 p.m. Yeah, so you guys, I would like to thank you guys for watching this video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Please stay tuned for more videos. I got more videos coming for you guys. I'm very excited. Now that she's here and I'm getting my body back, you know what I'm saying? We got some other things to get into. You know what I'm saying? We got some other things to get into. So sorry for being so late getting this video. I did post on my social media accounts that I was going to be getting this video out in a week, and it did not happen because I was just so exhausted from everything that had occurred that I needed to relax. I needed to rest. But hopefully we are back in Jesus' name. I did Vlogmas last year. No, year before last, I think it was. Or was it last year? It was one of them. But I'm not doing it this year, obviously. I'm going to take a break. Hopefully I can get back into doing that the following year. And like I said, if they serve you no purpose, let them go. Let him go, let her go, let them go, period. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day, night, or wherever you're watching this video. See you guys later.